All right, everybody. I have DebPep on the phone with me here. We're gonna actually go ahead and create a new flow to manage emails. So I'm gonna go ahead and start from scratch a new workflow. This is gonna work with the bot, the AI. So what we're gonna have to do here is create an inbound webhook. I'm gonna hit add new trigger, inbound webhook. Now that is 2 cents per every turn right now. We can't run sample requests. What we have to do is we have to copy this, and we don't need to publish yet. We're going to come over into Assistable. We're going to grab a bot that we want to work with when it loads. Let's see. Let's do context bot v1. And I'm going to say under tools, I'm going to add a function, custom tool. I'm going to create a custom tool, and then I'm going to add this endpoint right here. And I can add parameters. So what I can say is, for this example, Deb's doing catalogs that she's sending PDFs of. So catalog is going to be the parameter. I don't even know if I spelled that right. Did I spell that right? No, I didn't.
It's CATALOG.
Oh, so I did a good job. All right. So the description here is, there's a few different ways that we can do this. We can have the catalog, or we can have catalog and have a description. And I'm preferential to the description. So the description is, do they want an urn or a casket catalog? All right. And instead of asking that as a question, we can make it a statement. So instead of do they want a urn or casket catalog, we could say, what, Deb?
If if they
No, no, their preference
oh
on catalog being either urn or casket. Oh, if I could only spell. You know, I should probably zoom in for all the viewers with small screens, huh?
or people like me with bad eyes.
Yeah, that'll do it too. All right, so I'm gonna save those changes, but first I'm gonna give it a name. I'm gonna say uh, email catalog, and the description is extremely important. The unique name, the email catalog, the bot has almost no understanding what that means. It doesn't care. But what it does care about is the description. The description here, we're gonna say when the how do we do this? Use this tool to send an email of the desired catalog once once the user provides their email and states their preference of which catalog they want to receive. Now, this is probably not the best language. I'm a little caffeinated, but you see this is really important. This we copied from the flow builder.
Mm-hmm.
So we've not done anything with that yet, except for we pasted it in here, and we're going to save changes and then make sure that we actually add it to the bot, because I failed to do that. Let's see, email catalog, add to assistant. Then over here, I'm just going to do this. I'm going to say context bot v1, update information. Okay, so I'm going to save those changes. And before I can even run fetch here, before I can run fetch sample request, I actually need to send that information. So I could either message over text or whatever I have that bot set up for, but instead what I'm going to do is I'm going to call that bot so y'all can hear it. Let's see. Make sure I called the right number. Okay, here we go. I'm calling through Google Voice, and sometimes it takes a little while to relay the call.
Hello, Jonathan. It's great to connect with you. Let's dive right in. What's your favorite car?
Wow, I'm sorry. I know that I'm calling the context bot. That's very cool. But what I need you to do is I need you to send me a casket catalog. Can you do that?
Sure thing. I'll send the casket catalog to your email right away.
All
I've
right.
sent the casket catalog to your email.
I
If there's
appreciate
anything
that.
else you need, feel free to let me know.
Yes, can you tell me what tool you use to send me the casket catalog?
I used a specialized tool to send the casket catalog directly to your email. It's designed to make the process quick and seamless.
That's wonderful. What was the name of the tool?
The tool is called Email Catalog.
Great.
It's specifically for sending catalogs like the one you requested.
Can you tell me what my email is on file?
Your email on file is jackandharp8assistanttest@gmail.com.
Awesome. Thank you. So, for those that aren't aware, what happened when I called and asked it to run that tool, it actually did run the tool, but Go High Level currently doesn't know what to do, doesn't know what to receive until we send it a sample. So what we just said is, hey bot, send a sample of this information. So you see the information showed up, but we haven't mapped it to anything yet. This is called a mapping reference. So when I click it, here's all the information. This is the test email that was associated with it. This is the contact name that I've previously called in and saved for this phone number. All the information that's already set. So the cool thing is I can now do filters based off contact full name, right? I can do it off all the information there. So I'm going to save that. And when I do that, it creates a create contact. But I don't want to create contact. I'm going to hit delete. I'm going to go ahead and do something else. I'm going to actually do find contact because I want to associate that call. If I have an existing contact, it's going to associate it. And if there's not an existing contact, then it will create a new contact. So I'm going to add field, contact ID, which is unique, right? Multiple people share names, but contact ID has to be unique. I'm going to click this little tag here, inbound webhook trigger. I'm going to go call, retell LLM dynamic variables. And then there's two things we could do here. I'm only going to show for voice real quick, but if you're smart, you'll set up a conditional for if it's this value, which is contact underscore ID. Here, where is it? Contact. Well, we got contact ID and contact underscore ID. Contact underscore ID is currently via phone, and contact ID is currently via any chat method. So add an if statement here and say if there's anything under contact ID, send out a call. If it's under contact underscore ID, then it's because of SMS or something like that. So I'm going to do contact ID just to make this simpler. So y'all understand? That makes sense, Deb, the way I said that?
Yep.
All right, cool. So we're going to find contact. And then here's the cool thing. If the contact information is saved, I can say then send email, right? And what you're going to do here is you can either have it set to read values from the call, right? Like let's say you have a URL where you save this catalog and it's always mortuary.com / and let's say it was casket.pdf, right? If that were the case and we saw casket as text inside of this webhook that we saw inside the mapping, we could actually reference that. And so this would be a variable inside of a URL, and we only have to set up one email. But what we could do instead is say, hey, instead of sending an email now, what we're going to do is add a conditional, or an if else is another way of saying conditional. We're going to say what catalog, oh, if I could type, do they want? And then I'm going to say they want a casket and none. Or I can say casket and won't let me add a branch for a reason. Don't know. Oh, I have to add branch details first. So I'm going to do inbound webhook trigger, which is what we set right here. And this is all the values we received from the bot. So I can go to args catalog, right? And we said, is it earn or is it casket? Right. So I'm going to say contains, and let's just do casket. And then I'm going to instead of adding a new branch and copying all this, I'm going to just hit here and say duplicate branch. So it's copy of casket, but I'm going to turn all this and say earn. I'm going to change this to earn. Then I have a none branch as well. I'm going to hit save. Now, under casket, I can send an email and say, here's your email. And I can set where I'm sending from. I have to add a subject, casket, catalog. That might be a little scary to show up in the inbox. All right, hit save. All right, so now I can have an email for casket, email for earn, and an email. I don't want to send anything if there's nothing set, right? So I'm gonna hit publish and save. And I actually don't know if this will work because I don't know if it's gonna come back exactly casket, but I can check that here. Let's see, I told it I wanted catalog, email catalog to equal casket. Ooh, you see what I just did there? I kept you from having to take shots in the dark. So we know at least this will come in a good portion of the time. So I'm going to hit save. Now the inbound webhook, every time this tool gets called, it's going to pass all this information. It's going to find the user. Then it's going to make sure it knows what they want. And if it's casket or earn, it's going to go through that correct flow and then send the email associated with it. And in this case, it says, here's your email, and I'll just type big letters casket. Now, this email address does not really exist, so I don't actually have a tester in front of it. So we'll see it try to send an email, and it'll probably fail. But let's go ahead and give this call again to the bot. Let me know if I'm losing you at all, Deb.
Hi, Jonathan. It's great to connect with you. I hope you're having a fantastic day. Let's dive right in. What's your favorite car?
Well, thank you so much, but I don't need to talk about that. I actually need you to send me an email for caskets. I need the casket catalog.
Of course, Jonathan. I'll send you the casket catalog right away. Keep an eye on your inbox. The casket catalog has been sent to your email. If there's anything else you need, feel free to let me know.
Yeah, 1 second. So I always ask for a second. She only gives me half a second.
Take your time.
See, she
if
always,
you have any questions or
always
need further
talks.
assistance, I'm here to help.
But I always use this to troubleshoot, because if it shows enrollment history, then I'm good. If it doesn't show enrollment history, I can ask her, well, hey, Emily, why didn't I receive it? Did you send it yet, or are you just planning on sending it? So you see this that it sent an email. Obviously, this can't work because I gave it a bad email, but it at least tried. So here we go. We got added to workflow, find the contact. So this, if I don't exist as a contact, it will create a new one. If I do exist as a contact, it'll make sure it associates me appropriately. Then it checked to see, and I'm going to hit view details on this if else statement. It said condition was casket, so it was success. So args.catalog contains casket, which we set up here. Does that make sense how that all happened?
Yep.
And the value is true. We never even checked for earn. Because it succeeded. So it goes through casket because it says if casket, if not, then if earn, if not, then none. So it only went through casket. It didn't have to go to the next one. So if we put earn in here, it would say casket false, then earn true, and that would be it.
Okay, that makes sense.
So here we go. Actually, this is a real email. I just saw that. So let me show you all something real quick. So this is my test email, jakeandharp8@gmail.com. If you add a plus after your email address, but before the domain at gmail.com, you can put whatever you want there. You'll still receive it, and you'll see that it was sent to that to this unique identifier, if you will, so you can see where it came from. You can do this when you're signing up for a spam email list or something too, so you know, oh, this is how they got my email. But this is a great way to test. That way you can actually have unique ID inside of your CRM for multiple testers with using actually one dummy account instead of having to go and create 100 new emails. All right, so that worked, and then it sent the email. So let's see real quick.
And this is the same true for the chat, the setup?
Yeah, this would be the same, except for instead of call_ID, contact_ID be contact ID. So here we go, Jonathan Johnson. Look at this. Sent an email called Casket Catalog. Here's your email casket.
Awesome.
Yeah. So if we really wanted to, I'm going to end this video in just a second, but if we really wanted to, just to show you what it would kind of look like, we have this set up only for calls right now. If I wanted to do it before that, so this is find contact and it finds it by call ID. So what we're going to do instead is say if, and we're going to say by phone. So that would be workflow trigger, which is this up here. Oh, sorry, not workflow trigger. We need the workflow trigger that we actually use, inbound webhook trigger. There we go. We're going to go to call retail LLM. Then we're going to go to, this is kind of the hard part, contact underscore ID is not empty. What this means is something exists under this value. That means it would be through the phone system, through the voice system. So we're going to search by that ID. And then if not, well, then we could add a new branch and contact ID without the underscore and then have a none. But really what I'm going to do is, to make it easier, by phone, and then instead of calling this branch none, I'm just going to say as a default, it's going to be chat. Does that make sense why I'm doing that? Because if I make a phone branch, a chat branch, and a none branch, the none branch would never be used.
Right.
It'd be just unnecessary. So I have a phone branch and a chat branch. So I'm going to hit save. So now I'm also going to change the name, phone or chat. So we can see that just from the view without having to go in to know what's happening. So then we have a phone branch. It's going to find the contact, and what we're going to do here is the exact same thing, but instead of the underscore, we're going to use the other one. So we're going to same thing, contact ID, coming over here, inbound webhook trigger, call, retail LLM dynamic variables. I'm pretty sure I'm messing up here because it doesn't come in as retail LLM, I don't think, if you're doing chat. I don't know. I might be messing up here. Let's find out. Contact ID without the underscore. So we hit save. So that finds contact, and once it finds contact, what do we want to do next? We want to do everything else we already set up over here. So now we're just going to hit plus, and instead of rebuilding everything else out, we're going to type go to. We're going to hit save. We can name it whatever we want. I just usually leave it as go to, and I'm like, okay, go here. So if it's phone, it goes through this flow. If it's chat, it goes through this flow. And once we find that contact on chat, we follow the original flow. Does that make sense?
Yep.
So I'm sorry I can't speak with certainty on this, but I'm pretty sure that, what was it? Under this, find contact, that this one will work for chat. I almost never use chat, but I do have a couple flows built out. I probably should have just shown you one I have. All right, I'm going to stop recording. I hope this helps y'all. Bye.